will be complete without a snow cone.
No.
Cherry or grape?
My name is Tom Koester, and I happen to be flying this magnificent airplane we're standing under. It's the best way to describe it, and pilots appreciate this, but it's like a J3 Cub. The bombardier operated the nose guns. The navigator sat behind the bombardier. He operated the cheek guns on the sides of the nose. Then there were two pilots in the cockpit and a flight engineer. The flight engineer operated the top turret.
Oh, okay. And then there's another hatch up on top where another gun would go up there.
Oh, I see a ball turret.
Yeah.
How does he get to go in there?
You go up the ladder on the side.
Oh, anybody can do it?
Yeah, it's 3 bucks. I'll let you go with the other two.
Oh.
Cramped quarters in here.
Oh my God.
And the bombs are down there. You guys are the bombs? How you doing?
Heading toward the rear, pass through the bomb bay and end up in the radio compartment. And of course the radio man was pretty much listening to the radio all the time for any messages that would be deemed important to the crew. Passing into the next compartment, the ball turret gunner, usually the smallest man on the crew, was in the belly turret, and he would ride in there throughout the mission. And we have one of those on the other side of the airplane at the moment. Then the two side gunners operated 50 caliber machine guns, and then the last crew member operated the tail guns. It gives you an incredible respect for the guys when you figure that World War II they were not like we're going to be today, never above 1,000 feet. They were at 20, 25, 27,000 feet, temperatures 50, 60 degrees below zero, and if you ever are inside the airplane in flight, there's a tremendous wind whistling through the whole airplane. And sometimes the Germans added to the holes in the airplane to let in more wind. And these guys, 18, 19, 20, some even 17. A 22-year-old was regarded as an old man flying these things in World War II.
I graduated from high school, winter class of 1944. I knew I wasn't going to be a pilot, co-pilot, navigator with only high school education, but that's how you got into the Air Corps in those days. Well, what I ended up was a ball turret gunner.
Tell me about this piece.
This here happens to be a ball turret made by Sperry. It holds two 50 caliber machine guns side by side. The ball turret is 44 inches wide and it's 3 inches thick. It's made of plastic, and when you're in the ball turret and you're sitting down with your knees are up here about your cheeks.
Graduated from high school in 1940, and I was in college when the war started. I was assigned to tail gunner when I joined the crew, and after a couple of months, the ball turret gunner came to me one day and says, "I don't like it here." I said that I would change with him.
And that's the position there?
Well, this is the way you would turn the ball turret to take the back off to put the guns in, to put the inner part of the gun. Then you swing it around again. Then after takeoff, you turn the gun straight down, hand-wise, and bring this door up inside the airplane. And then you get in it and get ready to go. For each mission, if it was a 9-hour mission, you'd be in the turret at least 8.5 hours. This is the sight you look through. It has a switch on it. It's electrical. It has a reticle on it, and it doesn't have a circle and a dot. It has one level line and two up and down lines. And your left foot operates part of this sight there, and you can see that mechanism there with the bar in it. That goes up and down with your foot, and as the airplanes come at you, the further they are away, the further down your foot is, and as they get closer, you raise your foot to keep it.
So that's a parallax kind of thing.
Yeah, it's a compensating sight. See how big it is?
Well, I do now.
This is a compensating sight. See, the guns are loaded, has a solenoid on the back, so they're fired like a fighter plane. Just the way you are.
And can you get out of this thing once it's in flight?
Oh yes, you can put the guns down and open the door and run out that back door if you want. Or, if you want, you can put the guns forward so that this door is not against the wind. Then you can open it up by moving these handles and pushing yourself out and hooking on your parachute.
You spend hours and hours in these things.
Oh yes, many hours. I have 260 hours combat time.
You just start walking that way, Michael. There's down, there's down.
And that's enough.
That's enough.
We took a shot in here, flak, and the gasoline came out of there, filled up my ball turret over there. Well, I told my pilot, and he cut me off. He cut the power to my turret. I had to crank myself out. Then he said, come to the flight deck, and he said, I want you to transfer fuel from number 1 to number 3 back into number 2. I never even knew where the valves were. For 30 missions, and 80 years later, I'm still there.